Hey everyone. Now lately I've been busy programming a 3D spectrum analyzer for software-defined radio, and it's a bit of a job, so I'm taking a bit of a break at the moment just to relax a bit. And I thought I'd shut the world out and just play some old school games here like I've got on the RetroPie. But this isn't really a good setup, so I thought what I'll do today is just for a bit of hands-on work, try and build not a cabinet as such, but just fit this in one of these IKEA type stands over here. So what I've currently got is a Raspberry Pi 4 powered from PoE via the PoE splitter. But what I'm going to try and do is see if I can get some volts out of the monitor and just down convert them to 5 volts and see if I can power that from the monitor internally. So here's one of those IKEA stands. And I'm just thinking of putting the monitor there and the speakers down there, just having a space to put the controllers there. Okay, so I'm going to use this monitor here, just an old school 4x3 monitor. I've got a few of these in the cupboard and I've saved them for this very occasion because the old school games are all this aspect ratio. But it does have digital input via DVI connector, so I can just use the HDMI to DVI because it's electrically the same. And I'm thinking of just slapping this to here somehow. And as I said, hopefully get power from this internally for the Raspberry Pi. If not, I'll just have to power it externally. And I'll put speakers down the bottom and just use the middle shelf for the controllers and keep ornaments at the top. So I'll see how we go. Just something to do, really. All right, I don't know how I'm going to go with this, but got to give it a go. So I'm just going to undo every screw that I can see. Try and pull the back off this. I do have some plastic tools here, so it doesn't, nibble away at them. So I'll just see if that's... There we go. Sort of clips, something like that. Sort of clips like that. Anyway, let's see if we're getting anywhere. Right, there's the back. That's what I wanted. Okay, so what I'm looking at doing is screwing this to that shelf, and then I'll just hopefully put that back, clip it back into this, and once that's solidly on there. So that's why I needed to get that off. If I go further, I'll see if I can find some sort of power supply. This is just the bracket here, so I'll just keep digging in here until I find something interesting that resembles power. Now it's got this USB connector on the side, which just goes through from the back here. So it'll have 5 volts there, but I highly doubt that's a very high current 5 volts for what I need for the Raspberry Pi. What I really want to do is find 12 volts and then down convert it to 5 volts using a little 5 volt DC to DC converter. So I'm just going to go a bit further. Actually, this may come to an end because these aren't really screws and I don't particularly feel like pulling this apart. Alright, so what I mean is this stand here, just get this piece of plastic and screw it to that. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. That should be right. Cool. All right, I'll go do that, not here because it'll make a mess, but all I'm going to do is drill something through there, screw something into it, put it back together, really. Should be easy. Okay, I'm just going to put this strap on to hold it there while I drill it. So get it roughly in a position. Because I've only got 2 hands. Get fucking on there. All right, so where's this going to go? I'm only going to do it by eye. I'm not going to measure it or anything too fancy. Not really anything fancy at this rate. Get fucking on there. It's about as accurate as fucking nothing, but it looks alright. That's all we care about around here. So, found 4. I'm sure I found 4. Nuts and bolts here. What I'm going to do is drill a hole there and there, and on the other side, and just bolt that through. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to drill through this solid plastic here rather than these little vents here because they'll wobble, they're not too rigid. So just at the top and the bottom. So hopefully somewhere I can get to the other side of it as well. I can get to it anywhere on the other side. So just pick a spot here. This battery may be dead. Okay, that was just a pilot hole because I have to make it bigger to fit the actual bolt through, which I'll do now. Fuck it, I'm going to ream the cunt out. Now we go through for sure. Alright. There it is. First one. Cool. Now you get the idea. I'll do the other 3 and that's pretty much it. About there. Alright, I'll use a washer around the back and get my nut on. Alright, they're all tight as an uncut now, so that's not going anywhere. I just hope that as I tightened it, this is still flat and hasn't sort of warped it in any way. But should be right. It's only going to, the whole thing's rough anyway, so what does it really matter? I'll just clip that monitor back onto it and see if it still works. Alright, here we go. Hope I didn't break those buttons down the bottom. Try and do this. Actually, what am I doing the hard way? I'll lie this down and just drop it onto it like that. Now, if any of you want to give me shit about my slippers, I'll see you at the next meetup. I'm just going to drop this in. Into the wrong position. Oh, no, it's not. Oop, something clicked. There we go. Click it all back in. It changes its mind. Alright, there's the monitor mounted. It's solid. It's level. It's not going anywhere. So that was pretty easy. I was going to have lunch and then I'll come back and finish this off. Alright, so I've got power to the monitor, which hopefully won't blow up. Still alive. And I've got the PoE splitter for this. And one thing I noticed is if I try and power this up, I should show you actually. If I try to power this Raspberry Pi up when the monitor cable's connected, what happens is they just flash like crazy and nothing actually happens. What I've found you have to do is just pull the monitor out until it at least starts and then plug it in and it works. Okay, so that works. It's pretty level, it's pretty centered, and I haven't done the sound yet, of course. I've still got to neaten all these cables up, but you can see where I'm going with this. It won't look too bad. Obviously the monitor's wider than this, but I reckon it'll work all right. All right, the speakers are going to be one of these Logitech things. So the big sub box is going to sit down the bottom on this shelf. It's made for it. Look at that. And perfect. Even if I clean this thing up, that'll be there. That'll be there. And the other speakers are just going to have to sit up here with no real stereo separation, of course, but it doesn't really matter in a thing like this. So I'll sit there. I can just put the game pads there when I'm not using it. So what I've got to do now is just tidy up all the cables, plug it in, and that'll be it. I'm going to mount this here somewhere. So what I'm going to try and do is put this through here and see if I can sort of strap it like that. Now I only use that USB for the keyboard and mouse. I need the network to be able to go in there, so if I just run that to the middle of those with another one, should be right. That'll do it. It's not going to go anywhere. Just tighten that up. There we go. It's found its little comfortable position. So I just need the power cable to go down there, network cable in there, and the audio cable, which is over here, to go there and bring that down to the speakers. Actually, I might do the whole lot over this side, simply because the input to the speakers are over that side, so that's why. This Ethernet cable would like to go down that other side as well, but this may not be here forever if I get a normal power supply. It's really only used to power this thing, so that may change in the future, but for now they can go down this side. I'll just work them out there and neaten them up. That'll be right. I like my cables neat. You know, when you go to someone's house and you see all their cables everywhere, you've got to get out of here. Can't deal with people with shitty cables now. It's just not on. Alright, this is how it looks from the back. Just got the cables tied in there. They go down there, got the speakers there, and sub at the bottom. Then I've just got the 2 power connectors that'll go, into extension lead, and the excess cable zip tied underneath there. And I've just got the network cable there. Alright, there it is. My little escape from the world. And yes, turn it down. The sound obviously works. And yeah, so I can just play a couple of games if I feel like tapping out from the world. Now I've got a question for you. Who remembers this? Do you remember Donkey Kong? This is the old Nintendo Game & Watch things. Little liquid crystal display thing. Go up here, grab the hook, climb up there, take one off his thing, and eventually kick Donkey Kong's ass. All to save some ungrateful bitch. So anyway, everyone knows this. Well, if you're old enough, you'll know it. So that's the emulator for the old Nintendo Game & Watch games there. But look what I've got. An original unit right here. And I'll just move the camera so you can see. There it is, fully functional. Game A, just like before. Okay, you just cannot beat the classics. And one thing about this, I'll just die off here, just to stop all the beeping, which used to annoy parents, by the way, back in the day. They love these beeps. So anyway, if we go to the back of this, I don't know if you can see this on the camera there, but there's a date there that says 1982. Can't get this right. 1982. Made in Japan. So we all know all the best stuff's made in Japan. 40 years ago, and this still works perfectly. And it's had its share of being knocked around over the years too. So that just shows they do not make things like they used to. So this is better. The woman's got a vacuum cleaner. So there it is, all set up with the classics. None of this new bloody Elden Ring shit. Just play your game. No need to log in, sign in, or any of that. So that's what I've just set up, just for something to do today. It's been rainy here, so might just play a game and forget about the world for a while. Until next time, take it easy.